Hey everybody, really quick before the reaction, I just wanted to let you know that, first of all, we appreciate all the people that have sent out requests for more Game of Thrones season reactions. We just finished season 2, and unfortunately we had some technical difficulties, so the audio from Dan and myself didn't record properly. You can still hear us, it just sounds like we're coming off on a weird speakerphone, but the good news is Matt's audio, and he's the one that really has gotten to see Game of Thrones for the first time, so this reaction is all about him. His audio is just fine too, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. We already have started planning for doing our reaction for season 3. Matt's already halfway through that season, so we'll be posting that soon. But thanks to all the comments and requests, and we'll have more up soon. So with that being said, enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Fractured Focus reaction to Game of Thrones Season 2. I'm one of your hosts, Ben Gordon, alongside my brother, the illustrious, and now hopefully feeling better, Mr. Dan Gordon.
Hello, hello.
You feeling better? You ready?
I am feeling good. I'm ready to do this.
Stomach is good enough for a whole bunch of hardcore violence, sex, and dragon talk.
Well, the stomach.
Thrones.
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 And coming in live from the great state of Nebraska, the original Swino of Omaha, Mr. Matt Swinehart. Matt, how you doing?
I am great.
Oh, man. Now, for those of you watching that aren't familiar with our show or why we're doing this, yes, it is February 2017, and yes, we are reacting to Season 2 of Game of Thrones. Matthew here has not seen the show and is finally, what's the right word, dived into? Dove? I don't know, none of them sound right. Whatever, he's finally gotten into watching Game of Thrones. We already did our reaction for Season 1, so if you like this one or you want to hear Season 1 first, go ahead and watch that one on the channel. You finally just finished Season 2, you're ready and eager to jump into Season 3, but before we do that, Matt, I think that we left off Season 1 with your hopes of having the same amount or more incest, and I think you were telling us before the show started that it did not live up to your expectations.
Yeah, no, it didn't. So yeah, I was a little disappointed with the incest.
It's almost cliche at this point. If there's one thing everybody talks about when it comes to Game of Thrones Season 2 is there was not enough brother-sister intercourse, and I think that was resolved.
Well, yeah, they had Jamie locked up the whole time. I mean, really?
If you're still with us, this is the reaction to Season 2 Game of Thrones. Well, actually, Matt, let's have you lead this off. You tell us where you want to go from here. What you think of Season 2? How are you liking the show?
It got a little slow.
Okay.
To be honest with you, like it left on such a high, and then like it kind of continued into the first few episodes, and then it really dipped down. I mean, I honestly felt at one point I was watching an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
But you know, congratulations to Rob.
Yes.
Not only on the nuptials, but also on
The choice?
the superfine doctor chick. So, sorry you had to break a vow. You lost a bridge, but it looked a lot better than the bridge did.
Taking on that lady.
Some of that sweet, sweet piece from Volantis,
Yes.
then it's going
Exactly.
to be tempting.
Bridges come and go, Renee.
Not a kid.
Well, you know, as far as tone, or I guess I shouldn't say tone, pacing, or whatever you want to call it, you're right. It's going to be up and down from, you know, higher points and lower points. But, I mean, you said so yourself. You really like character-driven shows, and this is clearly that. I mean, even when the pace isn't kept up to that, you still want to watch every episode. And what so far are some of the favorite characters that we're not going to go into every single thing of every single character, but what so far are some of your favorite characters on the show now that you've watched 2 full seasons of it?
I like Arya. I like Jon Snow. I like Robert still.
It's weird to hear you say
Jack...
Robert, because don't they always call him Rob on the show? Every time you say Robert, I keep thinking you mean Robert Baratheon that died, the king that died.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, is it Rob?
Yeah, Rob. King Rob, right?
Okay. I don't. Is his name Robert or Rob though?
Well, I think his full name is Robert, but don't they always call him Rob on the show?
I think Rob with 2 B's, by the way. It's with 2 B's.
But I know
So like Robbie.
Yeah, King of the North, Rob.
Robbie from the
It
North.
does sound a little awkward. King of the North, Rob.
Robert does sound better as a king.
A little bit.
Do they call him Robert?
I don't remember.
I just remember hearing, I can hear in my head Catelyn Stark, his mother, always saying Rob and everybody calling him Rob. I don't know. Anyway, keep going.
Yes.
Jacqueline Haddad.
Jaqen Hadar, the face changer. Yeah.
Jockin.
Like, that's interesting. I mean, I feel like I missed like a whole part of the episode to actually realize why he was killing 3 people for her.
Oh, okay.
Well, what do you know so far? Why do you think he was? What did he tell her? We'll say it without spoiling it, but we can give you answers that were given in the shows.
Well, the whole thing is I don't know who he is. I mean, it's like all of a sudden it was like he approaches her and says, "You did this,"
You
and
took
then
away
for
3
that
deaths
you get
from the
3.
red god. Those must be repaid. So you say any 3 names, and I will repay them.
Yeah,
Right. That's all you know at this point.
okay. That's from the episodes. That's all I should know because
Yep.
that part of it kind of confused me.
Yep.
The guy, like the character, was pretty awesome because
Yeah.
he did, he followed through with
kicker.
what he said,
Right.
and and changing your face at the end is pretty badass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I kind of thought Arya should go with him
Yeah.
to learn all that shit, but I mean, I kind of understand where she's at.
Sure.
But he was really cool. I tell you what, Roz got her ass beat this season.
Yeah.
Who did?
I felt
Oh,
really
yeah.
bad for her. Like, not as bad as the girl that she had to whatever she did in episode 4.
Remind me.
So in episode 4,
Of this
Tyrion's
season?
like, send this. Yeah, this season. So in episode 4 this season, Tyrion is like, well, send these girls, try to get the venom out. That's what he called it.
Oh, right.
And then when Joffrey come back to his office or whatever, after pointing a crossbow, it's Cersei, is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay. After he points the crossbow at her, he comes back and it's Roz and then that other girl. And episode 4 was just ridiculous. Anyway, but he has her beat her up, hit her with a belt, and then shove that thing.
Oh,
So I don't even know if that girl's alive.
up in that business.
Joffrey's a
Yeah.
fucked up guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that definitely set the tone as far as Joffrey being completely fucked up.
Uh-huh.
So I made some notes here. Episode 4 also, that was like the standout episode for me, even more than Blackwater, that 9th episode.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4 is when the red lady,
Yep.
is that what they call her?
Yeah, they do call her that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Melisandre.
Who
right?
is, yeah, who's super
Red
hot, by the way.
Priestess. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Supple.
sorry if my wife's watching this. But,
You can say it subjectively.
but she also shit out like a demon or something.
It was
So
it was
I'm kind
either
of afraid of her.
birthing a demon or shitting something after the night after
I was going to say,
binging.
his delivery on that was so perfect. She was so gorgeous, but she also shit out a demon.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like you had too much blackberry schnapps
Yeah,
the night before.
I'm gonna keep
and
my
it's coming
distance.
out.
That whole ginger thing going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sorry. Episode 4 to me was definitely the standout
Sure,
of the
right.
season.
Okay.
Because stuff
But-
could almost, I remember that episode, if things would have just slightly happened different in that one episode, the whole show would have been changed. I mean, if Renly wouldn't have gotten killed. That's the one where Renly gets
Yeah.
killed by the Shadow Demon, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's also the one where I thought for the first time I was gonna see like guy on guy action.
Oh.
Were you
So I was
craving
kind of like, do
that,
I want
or-
to keep what? No, I wasn't.
It would
but
have
I
been
was
a
kinda
bold
like,
choice, though.
I'm like, is this happening?
Uh-huh.
And thank God it didn't. But I was kind of like, can I continue watching the show after this?
Your wife watched.
Let's
Are
make
you
this
watching
clear.
gay porn, man?
Exactly, that's what I'm watching. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Not offending
Seriously?
anybody that's into that
No, I
stuff,
know.
but it's
Yeah.
just...
no,
Yeah, right.
no. By all means, I
For the wife
Everybody
who hasn't
has
seen the
their
show
opinion.
and just walks into her.
yeah, that's just it. It's like, yeah. My wife comes down to bring me something, and she's like, "What the hell are you watching?"
You know what he'd say? Ben made me watch it.
Yeah. This was Ben's idea.
He's actually having me record myself, too.
I can't hang out with him anymore.
Yeah, that
But,
could have been a big change. I mean, even Renly and the Starks were coming together. Like, stuff was about to go completely the other direction.
Well, and what's funny about that whole thing, I don't know if that's the episode that starts out with Robb attacking the Lannisters camp, and at the beginning of the episode, they're like two guards and they're like joking around. It's like, so and so's been stabbing what's his name for however many years, and he hasn't killed him yet.
Yep.
Right? I can't remember. Renly.
Yep.
And then what's Renly's boyfriend's
Lawrence
queen's
Martell.
brother? Okay.
Lawrence Martell. He's the guy that plays in that new Iron Fist on Netflix.
Okay.
So yeah, check out that series now.
As a follow-up, that sounds really inappropriate.
I didn't even... That couldn't have been set up better.
Well, I'm just thinking. I mean, that's just...
He's a member of the King's Guard. Set up that Iron Fist.
Yeah. Anyway.
Firmly calls it
I
the
think that all
Iron
happened in
Fist.
episode 4, though.
Yeah, clearly...
We're going off the rails, I
Clearly,
think.
it's not a secret for the majority of people. I mean, the rumors got it out
Yeah.
there that Renly's, gay, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting to see the way they do that back in this Middle Ages.
Yeah.
But his sister's kind of hot, too. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and then... Sorry, I don't want to bounce around too much, but the fact, like, in episode 10,
No, that's all right.
like, his sister... Then, like, she's going to marry Joffrey now?
Yep.
So then Cersei's going to be murdered, or...
Well, Cersei's not the queen anymore. She's the queen regent, because now that Joffrey's the king, there is no queen.
Yeah.
Queen regent just means that
But-
Cersei was the queen before. Now her son is taking...
But Cersei wasn't the queen.
She wasn't.
They never got married.
No,
did
no.
they?
I think you're thinking about Sansa, right? Stark.
Or Sansa.
Sansa Stark. Cersei is Joffrey's
Yeah.
mother.
Okay, sorry, my notes were messed up then.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Cersei is the queen regent. She's Joffrey's mother.
Okay. So then Sansa,
Mm-hmm.
who in the last episode got replaced by
Yep.
Marjorie.
the
By
one
Marjorie
person's...
Tyrell, right?
Okay. Yeah. It just...
Political move.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's like that definitely puts Sansa in an odd situation. But it is interesting.
She's got to be
Kind of to
happy,
jump
though,
off topic.
right? At this point, right? She doesn't have to marry this psycho now.
Also means she did.
She's happy, but then that's when Littlefinger came
Right.
over and was like,
You think you're going
he's
home?
not one to he's not one to let go of his toys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, but in this last season, I actually realized that she is Jean Grey
Yes.
Yep. In Apocalypse.
in the new.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
Now
But,
you know it's Jean Grey with an American accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Let me see. Good for Robert. Roz. Those are pretty much my notes from the season.
What about the story of Jaime Lannister?
Yeah. Remind me what's
Oh,
going on
yeah.
with Jamie at this point?
So okay, so in there, Jamie, Lady Stark let Jamie go once. They caught him. The one guy wanted to kill him right then because he had killed his son
Right. Who was the jailer?
when he was escaping.
Right.
Yeah.
And like when that whole thing was happening, I was like, you don't take a fucking sword in there. I mean, you go. I was just like, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Right? I mean, like I'm like looking at this, and I'm looking at like the first 24 hours type of show,
like-
and I'm like, what you don't do is bring a weapon
Go
into the
into the
situation.
lion's den with a
What-
stake on your belt.
Remind me, wasn't it because Jamie's cousin, who is delivering a message, Jamie used his cousin and killed his cousin to get the attention of the guard to come in and check on the cousin, and that's when Jamie attacked the jailer, right?
Yeah, because
Right.
Jamie was all manipulative, and he's like, no, you're the best squire I ever had. I was a bullshit squire when it was my turn. And then he's like, hey, come close. I just need you to do something. And then it's like, fucking die for me.
Right.
And I was like, are you... I guess I kind of expected that. It built up to it, and it wasn't like a surprise. I mean, it was kind of like...
It's still fun to watch
You're a
Jamie's
piece of shit
dialogue
thing.
scenes, though. He's really charismatic, even as
Oh,
an asshole.
he's very good.
We got
He's
his
very
sister
good.
in
That
the
actor's
sack.
very
That
good.
man's good.
Yeah. But then I honestly do not know what that big girl is. Is she the one that becomes Captain Phasma?
Yes, Brienne of Tarth, yeah.
Okay. So what's her name again?
Brienne.
Brienne of Tarth.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
I don't remember
I
what
guess
her last
what's her
name is, but
connection
she,
with
you
the
know,
whole
of
thing?
Tarth being the city she's from.
But she's not related to those other two.
No.
No, she's a highborn lady from Tarth. Her dad is a lord there, and she's. I mean, I'm not going to give you anything away because how long has she been on the road with Jamie now?
They got to the point where the girls were hung in the tree, and then those guys from the Stark camp or on Stark's side or whatever approach him. It was like 3 guys, and she just murders them.
Right.
The one guy, I think she like just cuts his wiener off or something. I don't know what she does.
Two quick deaths.
Says you're gonna get a slow death, and she's like, nah.
Yeah.
So
That's the last that you've seen of Jamie and Brienne?
yeah, because I think that was episode 9. I don't think there was anything in episode 10.
Okay, that's
Making the
good to
march
know.
to King's Landing.
Yeah, so she's a highborn lady, but obviously she didn't take the lady route. You know, she big girl, so she obviously took up the sword. That's all about right now. And remember, she was
and
became
Jamie was a little impressed with the fact that she just murdered those guys because she's not with Robert
Nope,
or
she's
Rob.
not. No,
sorry,
she
she's
was
not with
Renly's
Rob. She's
Kingsguard.
clearly just with Lady Stark.
Right. She was Renly's Kingsguard. Then she watched him get murdered by that shadow creature.
Thing, yeah.
Yep. And then after that, she's like, what am I going to do now? And she respected Catelyn, so she pledged herself to serve Lady Stark.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, so where we left off, that was the case. Is she was cutting down the girls and
That's the end.
burying them
Yeah,
or
weird
burning
place
them
to
or
end.
something.
Huh. Okay, good. I'm glad you said something because
Yeah.
that gets better.
Yeah.
Well, everything gets better though that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like season 2, I think is awesome. Season 3 shit really ramps up. Season 3 is one of my favorite in the whole series.
Yeah.
What about? Remind me what's going on with Jon Snow? Because they went north of the wall, right at the end of season 1.
Yeah, they went north of the wall. So there's a lot that happened to Jon Snow in season 2. So they get to that guy's house where he only marries his daughters.
Craster's Keep, right?
And then he like sacrifices the boys if they're born.
Yep.
But then he marries the daughters and granddaughters.
Yeah.
Who do you get to do the ceremony in that situation? When you're the only ones in the house and you're making food for your house and you're sleeping with your own kids, do you
That's what
even
you're
care
thinking
about
of?
ceremony or a marriage certificate?
It's just how he handles his stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I was thinking of. I wasn't like, oh, who's going to do the nuptials?
I'm more like,
No, I
why
was
is
like,
my,
this guy's
why does
fucked
my
up,
granddaughter
no
have
doubt.
like 6 fingers?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Poor farm animals drink applesauce through a straw.
Yeah. Like, at what point does it start showing up genetically?
Then you get into that whole inbred thing. Kids with no teeth that only play the banjo.
I was expecting banjo music, to be honest with you. So sorry.
If you're still with us.
So then, so with Jon Snow, to recap the episode, so that happens. He finally makes it out of there, and then he joins another member of the Night Watch to go to a camp, and then that's when they kill the other people, but he can't kill the girl.
Right.
So then he's like following he's following the girl, but he's like has her prisoner or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he ends up getting captured. And then they're like on their way to see the King of the North.
King Beyond the Wall.
Or the King Beyond the Wall,
Right.
sorry.
Raider.
Yeah, that's his name. So they're going to see him. And then he gets in a fight with the other guy, and I think that was kind of like scripted or something.
Corin
Yeah.
Halfan, who's like the ranger, who's like the most badass ranger that they have that spends more time north than any of them, I guess, put together. Because didn't so Jon Snow kills him, right?
Yeah.
He kills him.
It to be so that
He says it would
so
be
that Jon-
having one person in the Wildlings army attacking us would be more worth it to us more than like 100 other Night's Watch people. So
So come at me, and then they'll ingratiate you
Right.
into the wildling group.
So, like, there's that happened. And I think that happened. It was either episode 9 or 10.
Yeah, it had to be close to the end because they end up right. But the end of the season is just you're walking over and seeing how many of them are group together, right? In the Frostfangs, the huge mountain ridge.
Yeah, like the way that they end Jon Snow's story is they come over that ridge and then you see the camp.
Yeah, it's like huge.
Yeah. No, but the way that they end episode 10 is when it was like a Walking Dead episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The
right.
way that it ended almost because
See
the fat kid, what's his name?
Sam.
Dear Sam.
Sam. Yeah. Okay. So Sam's there and he's cowering behind a rock, and then all the people with the blue eyes are going. Even like the horse, the blue-eyed horse,
Yeah.
goes by, and that's like. It looked like he lived, like they just passed him by.
I guess you won't know till you watch
I
season 3.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But that kind of reminded me of The Walking Dead, just them like coming out of the mist.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Of course, in Walking Dead, they would have ate his ass.
there's a lot of ass to eat too, so
A lot of ass eating
you
in
can
Walking
feast
Dead.
for days
Oh, no.
on dead ass. That's
Was that the end
Sounds
of? Was
awful.
that the end of the whole season?
I think that was the very end
Yeah,
of the
'cause
season.
that's when you see the
But the Mother Dragons.
yes.
So throughout second season in Mother Dragons, they get to Qatar
Karth.
or Karth. I'm sorry.
Guitar. Sounds real.
Qatar.
Qatar
Sorry,
was
yeah.
the naval base in Transformers that was attacked.
Okay.
So I know
Okay.
that's why that's in your head.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
Totally. Yeah. I was just watching Transformers.
Mhm.
No. So they get to Karth, and then the one guy cuts his hand. One of the 13, right?
Right.
That's what he was. He was like one of the 13. So then she's there. The dragons get kidnapped. And then they have that odd girl with the mask over her face.
Yeah,
It's
that's
talking
always
to the
big
other
in
guy.
The show. Yeah, the one that gives Jorah Mormont the like talks to him in riddles and stuff like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Is
about.
that so? So he goes by, that's his name, Jorah
Uh-huh. Jorah Mormont is his name.
Mormont.
Uh-huh. And remember, his dad is the
And he's the son of the guy that's
captain
on
of
the
the Night's
wall.
Watch. Or Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. Yeah.
The guy from Braveheart.
Yeah.
I think he's from Braveheart, right?
Yeah, he was in Braveheart.
Yeah, the one that's treating Jon
Yeah,
Snow
he's the one that
like
got his hand cut off. He had the arrow in his chest, and they like ripped it out in Braveheart.
Yeah, that's right.
And then at one point, his hand gets chopped
Oh, I
off.
was going to say, I don't remember this in Thrones.
No,
It's
yeah,
been a
no, it's
long
Bra-
time
yeah,
since I've seen Braveheart.
No, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
no,
you're
it's
right,
Braveheart. Okay, but I guess I lose his name.
Yeah,
I just know he
didn't
follows
remember it
Khaleesi
until-
around.
I probably didn't remember it on a regular basis until like season 5. And the only reason I remembered it now, or remembered it from that point on, is because even though this has been talked about several times on the show, even that you've seen up to, but it just, there's so much and so many names so quick in the beginning, you can't process all this stuff. I thought it was a reveal towards the end in the later seasons that he was the son of what's his name? Mormont in the Night's Watch? His dad?
I don't remember the
Whatever, the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. I thought that was a reveal, and I was kind of embarrassed when I watched the show again from scratch that no, they've talked about it since the very fucking beginning. This was no reveal.
I guess I wouldn't have realized without you guys' help, though.
Yeah,
It's not like there's so much going on. You're not making that connection
and it's a
necessarily.
little different when you're reading the books and you read the same name. You'd make the connection a lot more. When you're hearing names out loud on the show and you're trying to remember all this shit, it doesn't sink in as much.
But so they're in Karth.
Yep.
Okay. So she gets her dragons kidnapped, and I think that might have happened in episode 4 too.
Might have.
Might have been the end of the episode 4. Episode 4 was like packed full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was kind of too bad that the one girl that I liked, the one slave girl or whatever, ended up in bed with that guy, and ended up getting locked away in the safe
vault,
also
yeah.
that was empty.
You know what,
I
though?
kind of saw that coming though.
If you're that dude, what a way to go out. You're going to die with this woman trapped in a
That's a terrible way to
with
go.
you.
That's
Yeah, you
What are
really
we gonna
think you're
do?
getting
There's
some?
nothing else to do in here. I'm
It's
just
like,
saying.
we got 13 hours of air. Why not waste some of it?
no shit.
Right?
No shit.
I have a feeling it'd be like that morning when you're like, you guys wouldn't know, but it's like you're nudging. You're like, hey, the kids aren't up yet. You're still not getting it. Okay, I'm sorry. All you're hearing is her bitching at you about the fact that you're where you are. So, sorry.
Fair enough.
No, that's big. The
You may want to
association.
be there.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I want to go out. That's not how it's going to happen. Maybe you on your knees begging for it, but anyway, sorry.
You saw that coming? I didn't see that coming at all, though, with her.
I did in a way, just because he was like so all about like, no, open it. Let's open it. Let's see what I have.
No, I mean
so
about
when they
her
opened it,
being
I
a
wasn't
traitor.
surprised that. Oh no, I know that aspect of it. No, that surprised me.
Right.
But him not having money didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
The warlock thing was kind of cool, and seeing the dragons burn his ass alive. I was
Yeah.
like, right.
Uh-huh.
Finally.
Start just
Yeah.
at the beginnings of finally getting to see some cool dragon shit, you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, what were some... I mean, those are the kind of the big stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, they're advancing on the
trying to think.
Lannisters.
You got Winterfell being under siege.
No, so
Oh,
no, the
yeah,
other part
Theon
of it,
Greyjoy.
the other part of season 4, maybe we'll get back to Greyjoy. Yeah, well, Theon we'll get back to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, but as I thought about it, I think another thing that happened in episode 4 is they found the King's Watch people. Like, I can't remember what the guy's name is.
They found the what?
The Night Watch guy that went to King's Landing to get recruits.
To the
Oh,
one that
he's-
saved Arya? Or a different one?
Yeah, the one that ended up saving Arya, and then he goes in and says that he killed this guy because he killed his brother, and then like right after that, King's Watch people or the King's Landing people come back, and then he dies.
Mm-hmm. Because
So it's like once you start like,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
wow. Well, they were looking for Graydon. What was his name?
Gendry,
What's his
right?
name?
The bastard of Robert.
Or Gendry? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah, because Jeffrey just calls for the kill order and all that. Was it episode 4 too, where they murdered that baby?
I think so. Because I mean, that happens all at once, right? All of a sudden,
There's a purge.
Yeah,
of
it's just
The
it's
purge
kind
of
of
all
one
the
thing after
bastards.
another. It was in the
Bastards.
beginning of the season anyway, and I was like, wow.
yeah, the first one you see isn't it in the brothel.
Yeah, they come in and then they like murder that baby. They like, pull that lady out of her room,
Yeah.
and then he's got the knife and he's like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Some old school politics.
Well, that kind of leads into one of my favorite aspects, but I'm assuming that you'll probably agree with this. Most people do, but you never know. One of my favorite aspects of season 2 was watching how well Tyrion plays Hand of the King.
Yeah. I thought he did a phenomenal job.
For being a guy that everybody hates.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong.
It's
Yeah,
still-
but you know what? I think Varys sums it up really well in season 2 when he says Ned was a great man, an honorable man. So was Jon Arryn, right? The one who raised Ned that was
Yeah.
killed before at the beginning. But they despised and they would never play the game. You play the game and you play it well and you love it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of not what
Yeah.
you'd expect, like, the Hand of the King being like the sergeant, the one that does the real work on the battlefield, that type of thing. But you kind of got to play the manipulation game and everyone's out for themselves. But man, watching him pull the strings the way he did,
Yes.
Yeah.
ugh.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, that's like in those episodes too. That's when Tyrion's like telling the different people, the Meister, and then Littlefinger, and then the eunuch.
Yeah, that's all he is to us. He's just the eunuch.
He tells them all different stories about who he's sending her daughter out to marry.
Right.
So it's like that manipulation game and everything. The shell game he's playing there is pretty awesome. No, but he was awesome through the whole thing.
How about what he did with the commander of the City Watch when he was eating with him and he's like, he basically, and this is the guy that just got all these lands and stuff like that. Now he's a lordship, and he said, well, I'm not going to have the old City Watch commander that took off the head of the last Hand of the King. So, do you remember that?
Oh,
And then he makes Bran.
I think I do. I think yeah. When he promotes his buddy or whatever,
Braun.
Yeah,
Braun.
Braun.
That's
Right.
his name, Braun.
Yeah.
Braun.
right.
I hope it's not over with him. Because in the 10th episode, you really didn't know. I mean, all you found out at the end was that he was no longer the head of the King's Watch.
Right.
Once Tywin Lannister came back,
Braun's one of my favorite characters. He's just awesome.
he was pretty awesome in that thing.
What was your take on Joffrey giving his response to the assault on King's Landing?
Oh, when he pussed out,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, what's my mom need? Oh, I better go check.
You guys go ahead and take care of this.
Sorry, guys. No, actually, what was a huge surprise in there was the Hound.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
When he said, fuck the king, King's Landing, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those were like his words. I mean, Mike dropped it right there. He's like, he saw that fire and shit, and he remembered when he was a kid and got his face melted, and he's like, I'm fucking out of here.
Who's going to stop him?
Exactly. Yeah. The mountain? Or what was
Oh,
his
yeah,
name?
the mountain. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what. The Mountain's his brother. The even
His
bigger
brother,
guy.
yeah.
Right.
The one that burned his face off.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what I thought was cool though, and really redeeming with the Hound is that he was in Sansa's room.
Right.
So she returns in the middle of the thing, and is it Shay? Is
The whore.
that's okay, so Shay is Tywin's girlfriend.
Yes.
Tyrion. Tywin
Oh,
is
no,
Tyrion.
you're right.
Or
Yeah,
Tyrion.
yeah, but
Tyrion.
yeah, I know
Tyrion.
who you
I'm
mean,
sorry,
right.
Tyrion.
Tyrion, yeah.
Okay.
His secret whore
So-
lover.
Who's not very secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nobody knows except Varys and Tyrion.
No.
Cersei's getting wise to it, but no. Anyway, so when she goes back to her room and she says, "Lock the door and don't let anybody in," he's there, and he offers to take her out of the castle, and I'm kind of like, "Fucking go with him, please."
I know. Because she was assuming Stannis was going to come in, and Stannis would never hurt her. But I bet now that Stannis didn't fucking win, and they ended up not winning that battle, now she's like, fuck!
Yeah, there was my window.
Right.
Yeah. So no, that was awfully redeeming of the Hound. In a way, I hope he just gets away.
Yeah.
I know he's probably not, but I really just hope he like kind of slips away, and he's one of those people they mentioned like we're still looking for the Hound, but I hope he gets away.
You know what's interesting?
At least it was somewhat redeeming at the end.
With all this stuff up and down, from Sansa being spoiled to then you feel sad for her position to when you were talking before, you know, not just the Hound, but well, Joffrey's pretty much awful all the fucking time. He's one of the few. But then Jaime having redeeming qualities that you like or whatever. I mean, I think one of my favorite aspects of the show is how every single character, I mean, there's exceptions, but even then they're not perfect, like Ned or whatever, have no one's perfect good guy or bad guy. They all have elements that you of good and bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, it adds like a lot of depth to the characters in that, you know, everyone hates Joffrey just because he's more or less just a very simplistic one-dimensional character.
Like, with Joffrey and Ned, maybe
he's been
being
the most
easiest exceptions because they're so universally honorable and good, and Joffrey's just a complete... I mean, he doesn't have any redeeming qualities, period, that we've seen.
His
entire character, everything about him is just about being terrible all the time. To people that are close to him, to people that he doesn't like, and again, it helps advance the story. You know, obviously,
and it's great to have a villain that bad, but everybody else on that show has elements of gray, which is so fascinating because you end up finding yourself rooting for so many characters that you could be construed as, you know, the bad guy in a lot of ways, but you still kind of root for them.
Yeah.
So yes and no. I mean, Cersei, I know they're kind of trying to play this, you know, oh, I'm the victim of a queen.
Harder, but she does have.
Like,
I don't know if they've had it
it's
yet.
like
She has
you fucking deserve all
rare
this.
elements of compassion, but anyway, she's pretty awful too.
Actually, what I thought was kind of funny. So the start episode, I think it was episode 10, when Tywin Lannister was back and he was being named Hand of the King. He's on that horse, and the horse just shits right on the floor. I'm like, really? I mean, I know it happens,
Right?
but I was kind of like, Like, they captured
We've
that.
done 8 takes. We're not doing another one. Just cut it. We're done.
When is this horse going to shit? Because he can't go in those doors.
Wow, I wonder how many takes they did have to do if they were aiming for that. Or if they just did it and said, this will work really well. Let's just use it.
Some man just trotting. Yeah, my horse is just, he's shitting. He's shitting.
I'm gonna become hand of the king on a horse, and it's gonna shit in the door before I come in.
Well, let me ask you this. I remember the first time I saw the battle. I think episode 9 was my favorite in season 2. That Battle of Blackwater, the lead up to it, and the wildfire, and how it was done, and watching Tyrion actually be the hero.
No, it's not wild. Is it wildfire or was it?
The wildfire was
wildfire?
the chemical that they used. That
made? Green stuff?
Yeah, that was called
That was
wildfire.
called Dragon's Breath or something.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, it's got a couple different names. The most common one they use in the show is wildfire, because you're going to hear that a lot. But then it's got other nicknames, like, have they had did they find dragonglass yet in the north in season 2? Okay.
Oh, way to go.
Well, I mean, you don't even know what that is. But regardless, they'll have a couple different nicknames.
It's wildfire, yeah.
Yeah, like they refer to it as fire made form or stuff like that, you know? So they have these poetic names for it or whatever, but it's called wild. Anyway, I just love that episode, how everything flowed up, and watching Tyrion be the hero. I mean, the speech he gave to motivate all the guys to go out and fight, I didn't see that coming. I don't know if
that was awesome, though.
Yeah, like he was the savior of Blackwater Bay. I like how Varys says, well, you're not going to hear about it. You're probably not going to see us for a while, but people in the city know that you were the savior of Blackwater Bay. You're not going to get any awards for it. It's going to suck. One of the things I didn't notice, or maybe there was just too much going on, or maybe I'm just not that smart, is when I was watching that episode towards the end, before Tywin came through the door and said the battle is over, we have won, I did not realize that all those people on horses coming in to fight were Tywin and the Tyrells. Like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I literally thought...
I didn't realize that either.
I thought Stannis was about to win. This is over. She's about to have her son drink that stuff. He's going to kill himself. So when I saw Tywin walk
the Nightshade or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And when I saw Tywin walk in with the Tyrells, and he said, the battle's over, we have won, I was like, holy shit, that was a big shock for me. Now, again, maybe I'm not that smart, but that added to the episode for me, because I love those big, holy crap, that was awesome things. But
well, by the end of the episode, I think you realized because...
yeah, they had the flags that they were waving when you watch it again.
No, the flags, I'm not quite that keen on the flags yet, but Baratheon, Stannis
Baratheon. Yeah.
Stannis Baratheon. In that moment, he realizes that his troops are getting defeated.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which to me, I didn't really understand how he even got up the wall to begin with. I'd have been dropping shit on him left and right. He was the first one up there.
Yeah, but you saw
you can't push these ladders off the wall.
Yeah. I mean, the battle was supposed to be so big. They even said there's only so much they could show based on the budget that they had, which I think they did a good job for what they had. But that was kind of a gimme that you just got to kind of... I mean, I think at one point you saw him crawl over really quick. You never see him ascend, but you saw a whole bunch of ladders. You just have to accept it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw him get on the ladder.
Right.
You saw him ascend over the top, and then he killed a few people.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'd be the first one up the ladder.
You know what's cool though?
To be honest with you,
that's
let him run out of rocks. Then I'll come up.
I'm going up while they reload.
We're gonna go ahead and pull the Bill Murray at Ghostbusters at Zool's Tower, right? When you hear the lightning, and you're like, "Here, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
go get her, Ray,
go get her, Ray."
I guess that's more what I would do.
I know. You know what's funny though? That's very in line with who Stannis is, though, in this world. You know, he's like, follow me. I wouldn't ask anyone to do. I'm not willing to do myself. Fuck it. Let's get out. I mean, that's...
And I kind of feel like Stannis has been kind of led to believe a certain thing by the Red Lady.
Gee, you think?
I mean, he's kind of convinced.
Crazy cult ginger.
Not that I haven't ever seen that before in a relationship.
Yeah, and clearly this is what you kind of pick up from that. I think this is something that's out of character for him based on how what's his right hand man name that he chopped off his fingers? That's like going to be his hand of the king,
or his knuckles. Was it his fingers or his knuckles?
Yeah. Why can't I think of his name? Stavros. I can't remember.
I know who you're talking about.
You guys know who I'm talking about. Love that
I think
character.
He died in the Blackwater episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Him and his son.
Yeah. Well, you don't know if he's dead.
Well, I don't know if he's dead,
Right.
but that's the assumption that I left with.
Right, exactly. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he might be, but I just remember that episode you don't know yet. But the fact that he's so taken aback and constantly telling Stannis, dude, what are you doing? Like, this isn't the Stannis that I know, shows you that she's definitely in his head.
Mm-hmm. She's pulling some strings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen it happen before.
What? Man, we think back.
It's like, it used to be so much fun.
Man, if we start dishing stories from college, this show's going to go on for 2 days straight and going to be some different topics. This kind of leads into, so we talked about Tyrion, we talked about the Battle of Blackwater Bay. Sansa, it would have been so cool, and now she's probably pissed because she didn't go with the Hound. She
didn't go with the Hound.
Now, would it even be great if she would have, because she can't go home to Winterfell? Because the Starks don't have Winterfell anymore.
Well, yeah, Winterfell's burned down. I guess they're heading towards the wall right now.
Oh, that's right. Did that happen?
10.
Okay, so it's burned?
Yeah. So at the very end, that was on fire, and then Brad, his little brother, what was his name?
Rickon.
Okay, Rickon.
Brandon Rickon, yeah.
Okay, the other one. And then the girl from Harry Potter. And then the big guy. What do they call him?
Oh, come on. It's Hodor.
You know Hodor.
Sorry.
You gotta know Hodor.
I remember people from their face. Like, I remember...
Did you get to see Hodor, Dom?
I don't think so.
Spoiler alert.
I don't remember anything blacking out the screen for a second. No, but no. Hodor. Sounds like something you yell when you're trying to catch the elevator. No, but then I recognized the girl, the savage or whatever.
The wildling
was Lupin's wife.
Right.
Or yeah. There's Lupin's wife in the Harry Potter thing. She was like one of the pixies or whatever.
Her name in the Thrones.
I don't either.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about though.
Have they given her a name?
Yeah, she has a name.
Okay. Well, they were heading towards the wall at the end of 10. Now, leading up to that, so he goes back home. I'm talking about Theon. After he has sex with that girl on the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, proving that he's a further douchebag. But I guess at the time, I'm just like, this is this guy, you know. It's just like your friend. You're like, yeah, he's just like that. But then he like gets home, and then the guy that he hasn't even known for like 10 or 15 years is just dogging on him. And he's being a bitch about it. I'm like, no, it's at the iron price or the gold price. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I own it. It's mine.
Right.
What do you have? But anyway, I almost wish it had been like that. Been like, this is what we're going to do. Or your bitch ass can, get on a boat and paddle yourself out in the middle of nowhere.
After watching one season of getting to now see the Ironborn and their castle Pike up close and seeing how they're more about wearing shitty clothes from the sea.
Well, I guess
Iron Price.
We talked about incest earlier.
Uh-huh.
And I apologize that I didn't have to mention this. So he gets on that horse, that girl, and he's filling her up the whole time and finds out it's his sister. I'm like, what the fuck?
Weird thing is
she wasn't that good looking to begin with, so I'm like, what the fuck's this guy got going on? It's not that he's a prize.
Well,
I told you the incest level wouldn't go down.
I think that's less on him and more the fact that she was cool with it, knowing the situation.
Yeah.
She's just like, no, go ahead, fill my boobs. I'm like, what the fuck? This is your sister, dude.
Didn't she say she wanted to size him up and see like who he was as a person? Like, boy, way to commit.
Yeah.
I mean,
damn. It's the Arkansas level of sizing up here.
Yeah. You could have really easily just stopped his hand from going that far south and said a lady doesn't allow that, and you could have still played off like you weren't the sister just fine. You did not need to grant access.
Exactly. It's like I'm riding a horse. He's got his hands all over.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's that guy.
And then yeah. You're like, why didn't you tell me? Oh my god. Yeah. So that's part. I guess I was wrong earlier. Guess it was a long boat ride. I don't know. But anyway.
It's starting to hurt.
So he goes, when Theon goes back home and then he does, I don't know, he bitches out or whatever in front of his dad. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a douchebag move, definitely, to go back to not to King's Landing, I'm sorry, back to Winterfell.
Are you talking about Theon
do
or
what
his
he
dad?
did. Theon.
Yeah. Oh, no, I totally agree.
Because it's not like his dad sent him there. He's like, oh, you know what we could do? This is a better prize. And then he goes back there, and then he kills the Meister. But before he does that, he kills some other guy that I don't really know.
He was like
Apparently.
I don't know, the head of the guards or whatever for Winterfell. He was a really close family friend that, obviously. You're talking about the guy with the ponytail, the white ponytail that Theon has.
And then the beard thing,
right.
And then he cuts his head off like in 8 chops.
Yeah.
Because he's like...
Yeah, he can't even get through, so he has to do it slowly and then kicks the head off. Had to stop for a while and just start...
Like, there it is. Yeah. There it is. I did it.
Yeah, he definitely went like the dark side of the Force. I mean, made a conscious
decision. Did. And I'm like, really? For some douchebag
well, you know what,
left
though?
you with Ned?
I remember those exact feelings, and I still totally agree with you. But you know one of the things that we don't get to see, because remember when we jump into this series and get to see these characters for the first time, we don't get to see the first, 10 years of life that Theon was raised by who we now know as a douchebag, asshole father that's a fucking idiot that says, we'll just take the main lane. I'm like, you guys have ships. Yeah. You can't you guys are stupid. Anyway, we never get to see the bond with his dad. They even realize
that.
Say what?
They realize that because when he sends his sister to get him, it's like, no, this is inland. This is hundreds of miles inland. Right. He can't hold this.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they do know that to some aspect, but they still keep trying to play this thug role in whatever it is. But we never get to see the bond that he had. All we see is he's being treated well by the Starks, but he is technically a hostage. You know what I mean? That's got to be fucking weird for you psychologically. Then when you go back there, hoping your dad's going to be proud of who you are because he's not like this pussy. I mean, he is kind of a douchebag, but he's, a decent warrior, and he's ballsy, and he's going out there, and he thinks that he's going to go bring more glory to the house by teaming up with the Starks, and his dad coerces them to switch sides, and don't get me wrong, Theon goes off the fucking deep end. But I think the more that you give it time and perspective and you think about, well, you never got to see what happened imagine your 2 brothers are killed, your dad starts an idiot war, you're given away as a fucking hostage, and then your dad's still a douchebag about it.
As a prize of war.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that parental approval that he's searching for that he might definitely get with Ned, but he's not his actual father. So don't get me wrong, you still feel, you get pissed off at Theon, and he still totally made the wrong choices, but it's not all black and white, just obvious. God, how could he do that? I mean, there's a little bit of understanding where he's coming from, being caught between those 2 worlds, I guess is my point. But I remember feeling that same way. You can I guess
hindsight, you can kind of realize it.
That's what I mean. You don't feel it in the moment. You just get fucking mad. I remember that.
But that's just it. Yeah, I mean, in the moment, you're like, you're a fucking idiot. You're trying to impress 12 guys that suck. I don't care if they can fucking drive a boat or if they can catch fish. You know what? Those people aren't even worth my pee. Like, if they were on fire, I'm not walking across the street to put them out.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, and that's the way he should have. I mean, to me, I was just like, you're trying to impress a couple of douchebags.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck for?
You can tell that's that whole Ironborn mentality, right? What is dead may never die. We're tough. We take what's ours. Don't be a pussy. He can't talk to you that way. I mean, that whole culture that he must have had to deal with.
And he gives that speech and then gets knocked out at the end.
And the guy even said, it's a good speech.
You fucking deserve that. Yeah. But he never shut up. You know what, though? He plays that same character in John Wick.
Yep.
That kind of I don't know, king's son asshole
thing.
From
what I've read from the stories,
like the boss's son thing.
From behind the scenes stuff is that I don't know the actor's name, but the actor that plays Theon is like one of the funnest guys to be around.
Really?
Like, he's super funny, always the outgoing, everybody circles around.
It's Alfie something, isn't it?
Might be. I really don't know.
Yeah,
but I remember when that happened, you're like, man, I hope Rob puts a fucking sword through your head really slow when this happens.
Exactly. Well, and then, like, I remember I was watching the episode when they were after Bran and Rickon. Okay. And then, so, that was right after they escaped. And they ended up at that farm with them 2 kids. When the next episode, or at the end of that episode, when they put up them like marshmallow looking things with like limbs cut off, I was like, there's no way that's Bran. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you for wearing pants this time.
Yes. Well, just barely.
No, I remember you text me that night you watched it. Like, I got this random text from him. He doesn't even tell me what episode he's watching. It's like, that wasn't really Bran. And I'm thinking, okay, he's either talking about the Bran and Rickon getting burned, or he's having some kind of weird cereal that's...
My colon's blowing out. There's no way that was Bran.
No, but no, I like as soon as I watched that episode, I'm like, there's no way that's Bran. For one, I'd like in the last episode, if people go back and watch it, I'm like, I think Bran's gonna live for a while, so I couldn't be wrong. Like, that was like the one person I gave like a chance to live. So I was like, go fuck myself. But no, like when I saw it, I was like, no. And then like it was confirmed quickly into the next episode that it wasn't, because they went down into the...
Yeah, you find out like the next episode, I think, don't you?
Yeah, like right away in the next episode you find out.
Isn't it like the end of the episode? I think it's the end, maybe even the...
It's the end of the episode that he like puts him up there.
Okay.
But then it's like into the next episode, then you see Bran and Rickon.
Other Bran.
Yeah, Bran.
Other Bran. Younger Bran. You see them down in the crypt or whatever.
Right. Yep.
Is that what it's called, the crypt?
Yep, that's the crypt for the family. Yep.
So that's, I mean, Theon clearly was playing a game, and the other guy knew about it, obviously.
The Maester? Or who do you mean the other guy?
No, his like second hand or whatever.
Oh, right, because they probably did it together, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they decided we're going to take these 2 kids and we're going to say that they're the other ones so that we can control it and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how about this? What are you thinking is going to be going on starting in season 3? So like we were maybe like to kind of separate out like the different arcs kind of going on. Aftermath, Tywin's now showing up in King's Landing. What do you think is going to be happening? What do you think Joffrey's reaction is going to be now that he's done his puss out? And now he's it's essentially won.
That's a good way of putting it.
So
I like that.
Well, yeah. What are you thinking is going to be going on like in that area now?
I hate making these predictions now because I feel like I'm wrong.
Well, it's the fun though.
Yeah, but of course you're going to be wrong on some of the stuff. If you're right on everything, it would make the series shitty. Wasn't that the nicest part? Is that you're like, man, I love it when they zig when I totally thought they were going to zag.
Yeah. No, I appreciate their not following my plan, because I'm clearly not writing episodes of Game of Thrones and making millions of dollars. So I guess let's go character by character, kind of.
Sure.
In some ways. So we left Stannis Baratheon. Is that his name?
Yep.
Okay, so we left him in his chambers with the Red Lady, and she told him that things aren't going to happen right now. She does see him on the throne, but this doesn't necessarily mean he's lost. I honestly don't know what's going to happen with Stannis Baratheon.
No, that's fine.
What would you like to see happen?
No.
Hope he nails
I don't know. I don't
Red
really
Lady
appreciate the character.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Cranking out
A lot of what happened in
babies.
episode 3. That's awful.
God, I feel like a pizza, but I don't want to get up. Make me a demon baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're really abusing this, Stannis. Jesus. He made me make him 2 last week just to return the video to the store.
I guess, as far as Stannis is concerned, never mind. So we left, is it Tywin is the one that came back?
Yep. Tywin's the dad. Yeah.
Okay, Tywin's the dad. And I guess I never really got to talk about Tywin throughout the episodes. Yeah. So he comes in, I think after episode 4, after Arya's been captured, and she's in that.
Oh yeah, that's a big point we kind of stepped over, that interaction with Arya and Tywin.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tywin's actually pretty endearing.
He's very charismatic, he's quick. Isn't he?
He's quick. Yeah, he is. And he's really quick in understanding that Arya has some kind of formal training. She's not just some slave girl
as his cupbearer.
I know, that's like, yeah. Well, he right away he's like, well, that's a girl. I mean, it's like the rest of these idiots are like, dude, what?
Yeah.
She's got short hair.
Tywin's clearly one of the smartest people.
That's got a guy's haircut. That can't be a girl.
It's gotta be a dude.
It's gotta be a dude.
That can't be Superman. He's got glasses.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost like that.
Captain Amazing doesn't wear glasses. Vince does wear glasses.
Nice Mystery Man reference. Or Mystery Men, I guess.
Tywin he's a perfect example of that gray area that you kind of love him. I mean, no one is just, for the most part, truly evil or good in this.
Yeah. No, but he's really good in that. And then this is one of those moments when Arya really got to shine, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of that thing. And then, we talked about a little bit earlier, that Jaqen H'ghar.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question I had about that, and you guys can defer commenting,
we won't spoil anything. We'll just give you what you could not do.
Okay. So the sword teacher that she had.
Right.
Is that any relation to Jaqen H'ghar?
It's from the same city, Bravos.
Well, okay, that's what I thought. I thought I caught that aspect of it, that there was,
because at the end
there was some connection between her dance teacher.
H'ghar gives that coin to Arya, right, and says, if you ever want to come find me in Bravos, give this to any person that's going to Bravos and say Vala Morgulis. Right?
Yes.
So that free city, the city of Bravos, is the same city as her dance instructor, sword teacher that got killed in season 1. Yes.
Okay.
And they have a lot of
that's I thought I caught that part of it, but I thought I missed a ton of it.
Say what? Say that again.
No, I thought I caught that part of it.
Yeah, you kept Bravos.
But I thought I also missed a ton of it. Is this her dance teacher? I was like,
yeah, no, it's just from
I didn't know.
The free city of Bravos. See, this is why I sent you the maps of Westeros and Essos. So that when cities come up, you can kind of at least see, they're talking about here's where they are right now, because it'll help you with the thinking stuff.
But the map you sent me made it look like Qatar.
Fucking put this evil on me.
No, where is the Mother of Dragons?
She is right now she's in Karth, right?
Karth,
which is way on the eastern continent of Essos.
But exactly, that's just it. In the maps you sent me, it makes it look like Karth is on the other side, completely on the other side of the continent from the Narrow Sea.
It is. She's way.
But on the show, when I'm watching the intro, they make it look like Karth is southern. And isn't that far away from the Narrow Sea.
That's just because of the camera angles they're using when they jump from city to city, because it's really hard to see. I mean, the way that they spin it around, when the camera's moving around for the map intro scene for the opening titles, it's kind of like the whole map's, you're the camera on the inside and the whole map's wrapped around a sphere and you're inside it. So that might be deceiving, but no, Karth is completely on not only the other continent, but as far about east almost as you could go.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the map and I was like, that doesn't coincide at all with the opening of the show.
It does, because it's the same map. It's confusing when you look at it. Or number one, the scale doesn't look the same as much. But
on the show, when you watch the intro, Karth literally looks like it's southern part of that continent.
Well, it is
just in a bay from the Narrow Sea.
Yeah, it
doesn't look like the maps you sent me, where it's far east, and then they need to go all the way around and then get to the Narrow Sea and then cross it.
I tell you what we could do. We could at some point decide to have a frame-by-frame analysis But here's why I can tell you don't want to do that, because you'll look stupid.
I'm wrong.
That's why. That's why.
Sorry.
No, and I don't even know if the fucking maps help or stuff. I just thought that was, the more you get into this, knowing where the stuff is kind of helps puts it in perspective a little bit.
It's cool. It was cool. I do appreciate the maps. I just look from watching the opening of the show. They definitely don't match up.
Yeah, the first time I watched the show, you don't get a sense of where they fucking are in the world, and that kind of like, adds a lot of perspective to it. But to it also. Cool. Is there anything else big that you want to go over with the episode? Favorite points? What you're looking forward to in season 3? Any last thoughts?
I'm actually looking forward to Jon Snow's story still. Yeah. I really do like Jon Snow's character.
You and every woman on the fucking planet.
Oh, thank you.
He's the biggest heartthrob, I think, on just about any TV show in recent history.
Yeah. I guess I kind of want to see what happens with Arya. Is Littlefinger sound like he got like a castle or something? So is he leaving King's Landing?
Was he granted? I don't remember.
Because he was awarded a bunch of land and like he's like, you're now lord over this.
Yeah, didn't they give him like Harrenhal or something?
Something like that.
And Harrenhal was the burned castle from the dragons that Arya and Tywin were talking in.
Is that where it was?
That's Harrenhal. Remember when they had that conversation about how do you think, you know?
Yeah, he's like, he built this so big that nobody could ever beat it from the ground.
35 hearths. I mean, just huge. And then 3 dragons just burned everybody inside alive with dragon fire, which is why even on the opening credits when they show that castle, you can tell that thing has just been scorched to death.
Yeah.
But it's still huge, so I think that's what was awarded to him, but I'm not positive. Because then what's he in a mission to do right now? Remind me. Isn't he going to the Vale? Or the Eyrie?
Is he?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Been a while.
But so wrapping up season 2, my thoughts. I think if Rob doesn't die, his new wife does. I think I don't know. It's tough. It's tough just where it left it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was some. It felt like in episode 10 there was some finality. Now, Khaleesi was getting ships, so I'm assuming in season 3 we're going to see some of that.
Didn't she get like 8? Well, they ended up leaving Karth.
She hasn't gotten any ships yet.
But they're basically taking all the jewels and stuff they can find from Karth.
Yeah, they're taking everything they can.
Right. So they
to buy whatever ship they can.
Say like maybe at least one ship or a small ship so they can
a small ship. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that ending scene when she goes Dracarys, which means Dragonfire in Valyrian, and then they just torch that Orlok.
Yeah. I honestly I don't know.
Boner.
Yeah.
How about this? Give me one predicted death in season 3.
Oh, predicted death in season 3.
Yes.
Give
me a body, Matt.
It's tough. It's tough because I'm like rifling through here.
No.
I'm thinking
it's gonna be like a South Park where you cut the chicken's head off and you see where it lands on the giant board.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the new queen's brother dies in season 3.
Lawrence Tyrell, the gay one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that was
with Renly.
Yeah. With Renly, yes.
All right.
I have a feeling he dies.
We've got our death prediction. See how
cool.
That plays out.
Everybody remember
we'll
that.
See.
And comment in the comments with his predictions when we find out.
And then the fat kid. The fat kid in the
north. Tarly?
Sam, yeah. I just have a feeling that the other 2 died already.
That ass?
and I have a feeling that he's not going to be needed.
Well, where did we leave him? He's like
behind the rock.
Hiding a rock.
He's behind the rock.
White Walker and all the White Walkers.
All the White Walkers are walking past him like he doesn't exist. Yeah. Right. One of them's going to turn and be like, So, yeah.
Well, this is cool.
Yeah.
Because
season 3, there's 2 deaths.
It gets even better. Love season 3, so you're going to love this. And for those of you watching that have been, number one, thank you for all the nice comments that you guys have been sending. But for those of you that have been asking for us to do a reaction for all these that have enjoyed us talking about this show, again, obviously we don't have the time to do every single episode. We barely have time to do these. But we have set up, I've talked with Matt, we are going to do a reaction for one episode of season 3. And Matt has no idea what it's about, if it involves plot twists, deaths, anything like that. He has no idea.
I've watched none of season 3.
Yeah, he has no idea, but we're going to do some reaction to that. So we will do a reaction of season 3 as a whole, but we will also do a watch and discuss a specific reaction of an episode, and we'll get to watch Matt's face, whatever it does. Maybe it's a smile, maybe it's a frown, you don't know.
Maybe it's an O face.
Maybe it's an O face.
We really don't know.
Maybe it's more incest and we just thought that we were getting into it. We really don't know.
See, my eyes get even wider.
Any final thoughts that you guys have? Do you want to go over anything else?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing your reaction to season 3.
Season 3 is awesome. God, it's good.
Love it.
I'm excited for season 3.
Did you like season 2 better than season 1?
No.
No? Okay. But
no, like I said earlier, it became Grey's Anatomy for me.
Yeah.
Like for 3 episodes until he finally nailed her. And then I was like, finally, congratulations,
even when it
Rob.
has those Grey's Anatomy, like with, didn't you at least like those slower scenes like with Arya and Tywin? That's one of my favorite parts.
I did. No, I appreciated those. And I did not appreciate Rob and his bride.
Mm-hmm.
It just started to drag.
Yeah, sure. I agree
It's
with
just
that.
like, this needs to happen.
They telegraphed it pretty well right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It'd be interesting to see if there's any fallout.
For what? What do you mean?
For not crossing.
For him marrying that girl under the tree.
Watch and see, man.
I mean,
You're not
you only got to
anything
cross
on
the
this,
bridge
I'm
to
a
get
wall.
back.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I can't wait for the reaction to season 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Fractured Focus reaction of season 2. That's right, February 2017, season 2 of Game of Thrones. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please don't spoil anything for Matt. And remember that we have regular episodes of Fractured Focus that you can watch as we post topic by topic, Monday through Thursday, and try to entertain you with our semi-witty banter and our incessant rambling. Until next time, remember, winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Unless I can think of it. No, I'm going to leave it on.
Although it was like 70 degrees here today.
Yeah, no shit. Valamokulis. We'll say that.
There you go.
Car Noir.
Until next time.
Chicago.